There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Calling out people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents from there. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love me, the more I what is
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the thing, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Calling out people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chide, from Bantu, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
So we want to apologize for that break in. We sincerely apologize. The LD has asked out says that they will call media if they're ready. But Pokira is still in and is still in, and I think they are transferring him and those arrested at the back of the compound where they sell his position in the LDA. We've been informed that they are about to process document that would transfer him to court and
Wonderful, folks. What a way to go. Indeed, thank you. Thanks to all of you, sorry for the break-in. Yeah, indeed, due to some technical glitches, when you have a lot of educated people, sometimes instead of then informing our people, educating our people on some of the, or maybe as you may call, some of the easier or the common things, they will make things to be so complicated. So thank God that we're back, and thanks to all of you people. Share the show. Sorry though that last evening we have to go off that way because of some we stay in the university. So those of you who praising the LEC, praising the Liberian government, praising this and praising that, well, you have to praise. In fact, myself, I'm also praising. But again, ask yourself a question. If the rain continues to fall, then where are we as people? We have the hydro, which of course, you know, in fact, that hydro is the only dependable. Can you imagine that? A country 177 or 178 years still depending on one hydro. In fact, for a matter of fact, that hydro is, you know, someone will say maybe on that hydro we just managing. So we are managing on that hydro. But again, share the show. Today is Friday, having to be the share the show. Today is Friday, the 12th of December. So it's 2025. And we have so many things to talk about. Mr. Dollar already here with us. Team is setting up. But people, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and thanks to all of you, man. It's not easy, the country. Liberia is really interesting. But share the show. The show will be interesting today. Share the show. Don't be deterred. Don't mind these politicians. You know, they will do everything they have to do to make you happy. You know, they will say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, ask yourself, whether your life is getting better. Yesterday, or in fact last evening, the budget 2026. Yes, good. All of our people already coming up. The 2026 national budget has been passed. The 1.2 billion with no any kind of intervention, nothing for the civil serving. So guess what? If Melbourne, for example, Melbourne was civil serving, what going to happen to me? That means I'm going to score 0. But I will bring Mr. Dollar, and I will bring Brother Ali on. Yes, indeed, the show is indeed interesting, and it will be interesting this evening. But Mr. Dollar, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Ali, Masale.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Dollar. I hope they're getting us loud and clear. Everything. How you doing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting everything loud and clear, including I can see my younger brother Ali, Masale. He's setting up. Maybe he's traveling to Chicago. I don't know.
Well, like that. He said, yeah.
Good evening to everybody. So Melbourne and I, we on the same time.
Yes,
So,
yes, because So what's the time like? Because I don't want to join in. What's the time like, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, you guys are on the same time?
Yeah, same hour, everything.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. No, Mr. Dollar, tell us the time. Let the people understand and let the people know the time exactly. That the time between England or the UK and that of Liberia, West Africa.
Yeah, at time we can be ahead of West Africa 1 hour. At time we can come back together to be on the same time. But at this moment we're on the same time, 6 o'clock. So
wow,
yeah, you always like that. We don't go above 2 hours. We always above 1 hour in between, and come back again to 1 hour to be the same hour. England and the UK always like that.
Well, that's good. So, but I quickly before I join you, let me ask Mr. Dollar. Mr. Dollar, has the first season? Because say you're talking about the time zone, you're talking about the happening. Can you tell us some of the play-by-play with the happening, especially when it comes to the first season?
You're talking about the season right now?
Yes.
At this moment, I don't think we might have West Christmas, because up to present, to where I am, we still having rain, sun shining like a normal time. So right now the winter is not that much deep up. Just
a couple of days ago, there was a lot of wind flying everywhere until the train, they have to cancel the train movement and stuff and things. But at this crucial time, everything's looking like a Liberia. It's raining, getting flooded, all this kind of stuff and things. But we're not receiving no snow in Manchester. Manchester is a city of the sport where they have the two biggest football club in UK, Manchester United and Manchester City. So people always in something they call zero to rate. So people are jubilating at all time. So that's it. Basically, the season here is not that much compared to America, where I can see Ali have to cover your hair up with snow hat, all this kind of stuff. It's not like that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Let's move back to Brother Aliu. But Aliu, I'm seeing you. In fact, you people have been celebrating the snow, the fall of what you may call. Some of you will say maybe the snow falling too much. There are too many ice, there are too many snow here and there back to back. But what say you, my dear brother?
Melbourne, or for me, I like my state. Maryland is not like other states in America where they get that kind of heavy snow, like Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Colorado, those places where they have heavy snow. Sometimes, like here, if we say we are experiencing heavy snow the entire winter season, maybe that just 3 days. It's not like other states. Sometimes 4 days, 3-4 days to really experience snow that will stop you from going to work. But like other states, no. Sometimes when snow ready, whole week they can go to work. And this is why I like it here. We don't have that kind of heavy snow that will stop you. Sometimes whole week you stuck in your house, you can't go anywhere. So I like it here, even though we are in winter now. My favorite season, I like it cool. Yes. But so far, so good. It's okay, my man. How's Mama Liberia?
Well, good, my dear brother. Thank you. Mama Liberia is good. We are moving. Everything here is okay. Like, in fact, when I say that, sometimes some of you will question and say, man, but don't say that. Because everything is not okay. Our people, they are complaining that their life is not okay. They are, frustrated with the play-by-play of all of the government. Every time, times in, times out. But the best thing is peace. And thank God at least we have the peace and we can move about freely. And maybe we can even talk on this radio without anybody, putting gun to my head. So for me, I will be appreciative for that. And I'll be good for that. In fact, I'll be grateful for that. But I move on. But Ali, okay. So simple, Ali is a little bit basic. Let me ask Mr. Dollar.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things on your mind? Because there are so many things that are trending. Reaching from one of the superstar of Liberia, Bucky Raw this morning was involved into some drugs scandal or allegations, accusations, and so forth that in fact he was involved with drugs trading or abuse of drugs and so forth. And as far as we are concerned, there are a series of posts that have been done by the LDA. They posted that indeed he was caught with, I think, 31.5 kilograms, and that was according to them. Then after that, they deleted their post and they reposted that yes, indeed, they stand by their word. But so far, Liberians are concerned that why would you want to post and delete? Then at the end of the day, you want to say that this person is involved or not. So, well, so Liberians are more concerned about that, and they want to know exactly as to what's going on, whether they are into dangerous activities for good or for people to choose which way they want to go. What say you?
Yeah, that's my area of security at school because I served the security apparatus for many years, and I wish I did hold some positions where I could make decisions in terms of investigations, all the stuff and things. So I have a little knowledge, not all, but I think I know the procedures what a security man can take to get to the bottom of an issue. What I do saw today on the social media because my, I believe that today Liberia or in Africa as a whole, people have turned to journalists, self-proclaimed journalists everywhere in Liberia and part of Africa these days because of the internet connectivity. Today, there was a lot of people who were putting some video out and showing how the activities were going on. I keep on saying this. The way our boys, the security apparatus in our country, they can handle things. Sometimes it's looking so fragile. It's looking so grievous because what I saw today that because in this kind of operation before you move to somebody's property to having apprehended, you have to go with the securities. Information. There's mobile informations will make you to go there, relate you to the scene. They might have the information that this man was doing something like that. That prompted them to go there. But the way they were performing today, they could tempt with, some of the evidence could be destroyed the way they were handling. I saw it on the video. So when you go to such a sensitive investigations crime scene, you make sure you take your time. The area is not supposed to be crowded. You're supposed to have a few people, to handle the situation. And one of the things too,
but to that methodology, when you go back to I don't know which one the scene that you watch, but if you go back to the previous one, that have to do with from the beginning though. Let me just say that to our people. The previous one have to do from the beginning. So methodology, when you go back to the beginning of the entire maybe episode or ultimate quarter, the LD officers, I think from all indication, what I watched from the beginning, I saw them standing. I saw one of them also recording, and I saw the people who was allegedly accused also reacting. I don't know if they watched that video.
Yeah, I saw that. Basically, they were insulting them. They say they are Zogo. I saw that. And the officer acted very polite because there was a lot of insult, but there was no assault. They didn't assault them, but they insulted them, but they didn't retaliate on that. But what I do saw, they put hanger on the man hand and put one side of the hanger on the meat corporate hand and one side of the hanger on the law enforcement hand to walk them on the step to say they're going to do the searching and things. That was not the best way to do things. If you go on a crime scene like that with documents from the court, search warrant from the court to go and search in a place, before you place the hanger on the culprit or the suspect, before you place the hanger on the suspect, you have to see some level of hostile. When the suspect become very hostile, you put him under control by handcuffing him and walking before you to start appointing places and things then to search. That's supposed to be the duty as a duties by the law enforcer on the scene of the crime. But putting one hanger on the suspect hand, put one hanger on the officer hand. You people to say, okay, let's go show all this. That was not the best way. Let them stop doing that. And later on, they changed their mind. They took the hanger off the man's hand, which I saw on the video, and tell the man to walk in front of them. That you're supposed to. That's the one they're supposed to do. I don't know what prompted them first to put hanger on the man one hand and on the other officer hand. So that was, I don't know what prompted them to do that. But meanwhile, I think they might have information because a such a person with such a character, not only in Liberia or not only in Africa, everywhere in the world, people with that caliber, they are somebody that married to drug. Because some of the performance the people like that they can do, they have to be under the influence of drug to perform. So going there to find drug should not be surprise to anybody. Or musicians, people believe in this kind of careers and stuff and things. Then we should expect them to be moving with drug.
So that means $1 because thank you for even saying that. And these are some of the things that some of the supporters, those people who believe that sometimes it's not everybody that should be maybe quote unquote arrested for drugs. So are you saying that even if this person can smoke marijuana, because we call it marijuana and opium, the marijuana or opium. So if that person can smoke opium, because they want to be that person to be active, to perform, to out with the people, so that you go scot-free. Is that what you are saying?
No, listen to me. In certain country, the country where I am, United Kingdom, the Nakate law here, we call it Nakate, opium. The Nakate law here is this. There's a certain quantities anybody can have it in possession and go scot-free. Here. But Liberia is not the case. Even one load of marijuana not supposed to be found in anybody's pocket. But here, they have they give a chance to people to have at least about 1 or 2 low or 3 low in your pocket, in your possession to go scot-free. Because Nakate is opium is classified here as a medication. The uses for painkiller. So for that reason, that's exemptions have been given to people here in UK. But Liberia is not the case. Marijuana is not classified as a medication for anyone. So when you're caught with any pieces of narcotics, you are bound to be prosecuted for that, for possession of essential. So basically, I don't think they have that right because they are musicians and things. I am saying because of the job they're doing, people like that may definitely have something like drug.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Dollar, quickly before I go to Brother Aliu, are you maybe what would be your own recommendation? You want to recommend that maybe the law should be revised, or we should look into some of the laws that will pass that? Because you say something that makes sense, 100% that opium, because that job is normal that most of our people, once upon a time they used to smoke opium, or sometimes they drink the water, sometimes they this thing. But at the end of the day, is that the drug law of 2014 up to former President Wiatan that everything should be classified as drugs, whether it's opium or marijuana or hachimekwane, everything should be classified as drugs. So when you are been seen or been caught with anything, you should be punished. So are you saying that we should do some adjustment with our law?
You know what happened? Based on the condition of our country, Liberia, I think the government need to be decisive on that drug law, because we are transitioning from war to peace. So during the time of a civil war, this thing became rampant. Before the civil war, opium people was existing, but he was not that rampant. Even some of the high-class human beings in the communities used to smoke opium and go free. But it was not rampant as during the time of the war. The war came in and people began to use that to do all kinds of evils. And it became adapted by the people. So obviously, people that grew up with that narratives and become very, very dangerous for the peaceful citizens in the country. So I believe that the drug law should always be justice, and people should be banned from smoking or selling. But what the government need to do, because a lot of our brothers and sisters or children might have been addicted to drug. Anybody is caught for smoking should be castrated, to be in put somewhere.
Smoking, Mr. Dollar, in case I'm smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Why you want to deprive me of smoking cigarette?
No problem with cigarette. We're talking about.
Yeah, but you're talking about anybody smoking though, because mind you, Mr. Dollar.
Anybody caught smoking opium should be incarcerated and what? De-traumatized. Go to give them physical therapies on that, train them to take the kind of adaptive system in them. Keep them somewhere where they will not be having narcotics, adapt themselves to it for some time. But
okay, thank you, Mr. Dollar. We'll come back to you because you're talking about substance. Yeah, no, I'll come in, Mr. Dollar. Hold on. We'll come back to you because this topic, it is indeed unique because you're talking about substance abuse and so forth. But Brother Ali, what say you in all of the things? I've been speaking about opium. In fact, for a matter of fact, opium is something, or marijuana is something that some of the grass that grow out. Sometimes people take the seeds, plant the seeds, sometimes just to make themselves happy. What say you, my dear brother?
Point of information maybe before the brother come in. Marijuana and opium is the same thing. Only the nomenclature is different.
I know that one say marijuana or opium or marijuana. That means in a simpler form, so that our people understand that it's opium. Mr. Dollar, but go ahead.
Okay, maybe first of all, excuse me. What I saw today, the attitude of Bucket Rush should be condemned. I condemn it strongly. These are security officers, LDEA. They went to carry on their work, and most of the time, sometimes we will be like those guys. They don't act professional when they go out there. They will exercise force, things that they're supposed to exercise force on. But today, if you could listen to the level of insulting in Geo, Mano, English, different dialects, that should be condemned by Bucky Raw and his surrogates. That's not good for our country. America is not Liberia. Liberia is not America. Like I'm sitting here right now, policemen can be standing right here. I walk to Mayborn right over there, I buy my weed from him, and I smoke it right in front of the police. You can say because you can smoke, people can smoke weed in America, so you can smoke weed in Liberia. No, it is not Liberia law. Even America, it is not all the states. Like my state, yes, it is legal. Other state, it is illegal. You don't smoke weed. But yeah, people do smoke weed publicly. In front of police, they get time for you. You see? So people say, like you say, you smoke this thing to give you, say, inspiration or what when they go to perform or sing this and that. That does not give you any right to be having it in the country. You are not under any medical advice to say you have to smoke weed, you have to smoke marijuana, you have to smoke something for you to go and sing or for you to perform. And we wait to see how this is going to go. Because this government, they decided to fight drugs. They said drugs was a national emergency. But today, there are people, because of their relationship, their connection to the president and his children and the Unity Party, they were arrested with drugs today in the country. Where are they? This is one of the problems I have. Everything about Joseph Boakai government is being done selectively, not holistically. This is not good. People who are close to you, when you arrest them, let them see you persecuting them, then other people will be your friend, they will say yes. But today, there are other people behind bars for allegation of drugs. There are other people today, they have been scot-free because while they are proximity their relationship with the president and the first family or the Unity Party. And what Bucket Rod did today, it is not good, and we'll wait to see. Like you posted, or why I say the people posted the made picture and they took it and said they went to edit it and repost it. And you started laughing. What sense does that make for you to post the man and then you taking it down? They ready to start playing game with this again. And the former administration, they said that drugs was a non-bailable offense. When someone is arrested with drugs, there is nothing that you can go to bail them out. In fact, if you arrest drugs in my house, my property should be sold and that money should be used for the rehabilitation center, people that are taking off the street to see how they can rehabilitate them. Use that money. And this, I think we expect this government. The laws are there, but to implement it, they are not doing it. And this is not good. Let me condemn this strongly what Bucky Rod did today, the level of insult I was giving to those officers. And I don't want this government to take it like that. But again, that's Liberia. It's all about connection. Like Mr. Dolly said, they are setting a man of we a team. Yeah, that is where you are. And even in America, yeah, I think some state they can do the same thing there. Setting a man, they see you with it, they even say get time. But setting quantity, they see you with it, you will be arrested. But that is Liberia. We are trying to get rid of drugs. Our brothers, our sisters, they have been destroyed from drugs. And not because you are an artist or celebrity. Nobody cares about that. And I wait to see how the government is going to handle this. I want this president so that other people will rather be afraid. This issue about drugs, our population is very less to see our brothers and sisters being destroyed. Even he get it, now he alone smoking it. The people that are smoking it along with him, they too, they can take it, they go, they give it to other people children.
It's just about deterrent, right?
Yes, it's not good. So me, I condemn his action today, and I want the government not to take it like it with him. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, my dear brother. Let's go back to Mr. Dora. Mr. Dora, there are so many things been happening with the issue of the $125 million MOU agreement. I guess you've been following that news, or maybe you have your own say on that. That Liberia and the US signed an agreement that's going to last for the next 5 years. That Liberia will be able, there are a lot of unconfirmed reports that Liberia will be able to share their, their
medical
health.
Medical history.
Thank you. Medical history. That's good. So go ahead, Mr. Dollar. Go ahead. Thank you. What say you? With all of the happening?
To be honest, I don't know where is the rationale behind giving Liberian government money, in return collecting the data on the citizens' health history. I don't know why the rationale behind it. You know, that country for many years, the Western country like America have been using Liberia as a guinea pig country. We do a lot of experiments in the country on human beings. There was a place where they have it was somewhere around in Grand Bassa County on an island where they have a lot of chimpanzees. They were doing some lot of experiment on them. You know, Liberia have been in this kind of life for ages. But the reason why this thing are happening, to be honest, Mr. Johnson, is because we become puppet to America. Every now and then we go there for we are baker. We bake for everything. So anything America bring, whether it's in the best interest of the citizen or not, the government don't look at it. The government is skeptical of standing up to America to tell them what you're telling us or what you're doing right now. I don't think we can accept it. I don't know for what reason. Best known to we the Liberian. Because the typical example, if the American embassy close right now, you will see everybody in Monrovia laying down on the ground. I bet you. American embassy right now in Liberia, they say, okay, now we're closing to have any activity with Liberia for now. You will see how the Liberian, the average citizen, not even the government, the private citizen on the street, you will see how they're laying down on the floor. Because you look at America as a word French men call demi-god. Small, America became our small god. If you're not America, we can't survive. So that money, they will give it to us, but why do you need to ask for the medical history from the people?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dollar. That's good.
That's
More
my-
just joining us. Maybe more want to chip in on the previous. No,
more-
but I think you come in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you-
I get one. I'm going in the mosque. I will join you guys later. That's why. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Ali Masale. Mark, you just joining us. There are so many things happening back home, ranging from the drugs issue, the issue of some of our artists being involved with drugs activities, and there are a lot of information, whether it was leaks or not, and people have their own maybe way people are protesting. Some of the supporters, they are saying that release Bucky Ross. And my dear brother, what say you with all that happening back home?
Well, a lot of things happening. I wasn't supposed to be here today. Usually Friday. Friday for me is optional. I do Monday through Thursday on Sktv, but since I got some free time, let me chime in with the crew today. Sheku's not here. A lot of things happening like bro. I've been seeing a lot of reactions on the internet concerning Buckero. I don't know because he's a celebrity, so maybe that's the reason all the buzz is sunny in the city. I don't know what happened, why they phoned at his residence. I have no idea. I guess seeing a lot of reactions, some people protesting this early. I don't know what they are protesting for, if at all he was found in the possession of drugs. I don't know the kind of a drugs, whether it's marijuana or any kind of a deadly substance. I really don't know. I'm just seeing the reactions online, so I have no idea. But the one thing that I know, I think the Bucket Raw issue is just a distraction. Something major happened in the country yesterday, and people are not paying attention. More of a constitutional violation, and our greedy lawmakers abusing the Constitution once again. Like I said, they don't have regard for the people, so they will do things that make no sense. Yesterday, they passed an omnibus bill. Omnibus bill means you put in a lot of. It almost like you got Mr. Dollar, you got a basket of fruit. The good one, the bad one, you put them in one basket and vote for the basket rather than separating them. Because the thing about omnibus bill is all over the world, when you get so many legislative issues, maybe in terms of keeping the government open or you are spending measure, you want to streamline the process. So you don't want lawmakers coming and voting on individual bills. So you put it in one package. But this time around, it's not a spending measure. These are contracts. These are laws that will take effect for 25 years, like the Total Energy, like Oranto deal, the ArcelorMittal, and the HPA. They just put everything in one basket and voted. How can you do that? So we're talking about the country's future here. You're talking about contract. You're talking about ratifying contract. You're talking about the pros and cons. There are some bills that are very unpopular, and there are some that are popular with the same lawmaker. The question is, how do you put them in one basket and vote for this bill as a single omnibus bill? Look, Mr. Dolly, I mean, I'm getting tired. I'm getting sick and tired of talking. I mean, I don't know. I don't think in the long run, it's so frustrating. And the people, I think it was Luis that said that. Luis said, our people are not sensitized. So there is nothing you can do in Labrador that will gather the attention of the entire country. Now, what I'm just saying, it sounds like foreign language to maybe 85 or 90% of the entire country. But that's what happened yesterday. And here's the second part of it. Rather than, after even abusing us by putting 3 or 4 different bills into one omnibus bill, the numbers that were used to even pass the bill, it does not meet the constitutional requirement, because I know to pass a bill, you need a simple majority, right? And there are 73 in total. So you need at least 37 to pass a bill. But I'm counting all the lawmakers that voted for the bill, I think 27 or 28. 4 voted against, including Chairman Belity, and 1 abstained. So even if I put all the lawmakers that participated in this criminally managed process, they still come under 32. It's still short of the constitutional requirement that says you need 37 in terms of a simple majority to even pass a bill. So my question is, what happened to the rest of them? Why they never participated? How do you make the case that you can put 4 different agreements into one package, even though the country is unaware? You can barely explain it to us, and you voted for it in one omnibus bill. And in this bill, the number that you use to even pass this bill before sending it to the upper house for concurrent, it does not even meet the constitutional requirement.
Brother Amon, let me give you this information here. Before we even go this far, our people in that country, Liberia, they don't care. Even those that can identify the problem that happening, that are keeping the country down, and tell them you are the worst enemy. They look at you as an enemy. More especially those that are in the diaspora, they will tell them, you know all that in the why you can't come here and can't do it. That kind of nonsense. They always say that. Here's the problem. We're not supposed to even reach to where we are today. These are the people that went and spent nearly 6 months in a hotel on the Liberian government money. 6 months, more than 6 months. Doing nothing for the country. Kept the country a hostage. The citizen does not step up to say anything. For them to pass that law, that one will make the citizen to come out to say, no, we don't agree. No. Anything you like what you just said, you can get tired with this thing here. That's the language they have for all. We that in it, that's why they say you will cry and tired. Yeah, that's why they always say. He say you will cry and tired. But they're more afraid to realize that the pain, the actual pain, they are feeling it. But psychological pain, we that in the diaspora feeling it. So all are feeling pain. But physical pain, they're feeling it down there. But psychologically, pain, we are feeling it in the diaspora because we got relatives and friends and things there in that country. Some gathering, we can't even to say that, yeah, I'm a Liberian. Because the characters, the reputation from that country. So, for me, I've got nothing to say, anything about that part of the bill. No, I don't have nothing to say about it.
Well, Mr. Dollar, to just concur with my brother, Monk. Monk is right. In fact, that happened. Yeah. My brother, that's why when we come here and tell our people that for some of us, we have no interest into political party. Sometimes they want to insult us. They say, no, you support this person. No. Can you imagine, Monk, what you are saying? That happened yesterday. And you're right. In fact, day before yesterday, there are so many bills that have been passed, and someone said, I think one of the lawmakers said that the reason why they placed some of the insignificant bills or bill or what you may call into some of the significant bill is that because when you place, maybe the most talk about bills, the people will want to talk, the people want to say what they want to say, but whenever you are about to pass the bills, then you put in the other bills that is significant. They said that been happening from 2006, according to the lawmaker. He said that been happening from 2006 up to 2025. So where are we as people? That people will put in bill. Like for example, those of you out there, let me say, you will talk about maybe the gay, the lesbian, and all kind of thing. Oh yeah, you'll be talking. The bill will be there. Now, when there are issues, like for example, I'm saying the example though. When the example, maybe like for example, you want to, or you criticizing a specific bill, they will say, okay, yes, this bill I've been talking about. So some want to pass their bill, they put in this other bill, then they pass everything. That's the society, my dear brother. You're right, Mark. It's frustrating, it's disappointing, and we don't even know where we as people.
You know, Mayborn, this is why some people practice dictatorship, because technically, Liberia is positioned in a way that it might look like a democracy, but Liberia is a total totalitarian and a dictatorial form of government we practice, wherein the elected official, they can just abuse the entire country, they could care less because they understand too many people are not participating in the process. What you just said, like I said earlier, when you pass an omnibus bill, where you want to streamline the process because you don't want lawmakers coming to pass a bill over and over. So you can take some unrelated bill and put it in one package. That's a whole different thing. We are talking about laws. We're talking about spending measure. In this case, we are talking about concessions. We're talking about just regular law. We are talking about the future of a country wherein the citizen got to make that input. You got to put these individual laws on the door for discussion. That would let me give you a typical example. For Nantiko and other people are raising an objection to the Oriental deal that it violates Liberia petroleum law because according to the law, the people of Liberia owns or supposed to receive 15% stake, including local, as the people stake in the company, right? And this law might not read the 15%. That's a violation. So if you got controversy with oil blocks, with Total Energy, that you give it to a Nigerian-owned company and they sold it to Chevron, they abused her before. How do you put this individual separate concession agreement and put it in one basket and vote for them? How can you do that? Total Energy, SPX, budget, or rental. We're talking about 4 major concessions that could transform or change the life of the entire country because most of these deals are 200 to 25 years. Matter of fact, nobody in that right from a man in the world right now signing deal for 25 years, except my country.
Yeah.
Because the war is so dynamic, things can change in a heartbeat. People signing 5 to 10 years the most. In my country, the same mistake we made giving people a Firestone 99 years in the 1920s. You are still doing exactly the same in the 21st century. You still sign a deal worth 25 years. How do you put 4 concession agreements in one basket and vote without even meeting? Okay, let's just forget about the people. The lawmakers themselves, they cannot even reach the threshold that is required to pass any law in Liberia, but yet they were able to get it through. How? But nobody is asking the country, and they know that. That's what I'm saying. Coming second, it's almost like a waste of time and energy because you cannot care for people who doesn't care for themselves. And that is the situation in Liberia. And the politicians, they understand this game. There is nothing that we can do. Matter of fact, they're even the opposition leader. You cannot tell me what I'm saying. No opposition leader woke up from bed without hearing this story today. How they pass a bill when they cannot even meet the bare requirement for the constitutional provision of 37. When you put every one of them that participated, even the one that voted for, the one that voted against, and the one that abstained in the process, how can you get this bill sent to the Senate? It's something I'm yet to understand. But nobody is talking, my brother. That's why I say it's a waste of time. Because the people who want to be president, they want to replace a ruling government. If they cannot even bring this issue to the voters, then why is the essence?
Brazil, you see, to even those that are making this law, passing this law, 25 years agreement here and there. Some of them will not even see the end of this agreement. Many of them will not even see the end of the agreement. And the children then are coming out, they don't care. The average citizens of our country, they're instead to just walking, they didn't even know what someone can do to protect his own future. They don't even know. So obviously it's a serious matter, and Liberia need really transform the mindset of our people. We need to educate people. Need to get on the street, like the people who call what they call, how do you call it, opposition and thing there. What they're arguing on? They're not arguing on anything. Even some of them, you give them the same position, they will start misbehaving the way they present our government is going. Could you imagine one Ome Baka were coming? What kind of good word he never said that can really sound good in the ear of anybody? He said every good thing. But what you doing right now? He's doing opposite. So it's too sad. Very, the world does not tease the Liberian people with any good sense to think wisely. He make us more stupid. The civil war came and make up and carry control backward to zero for another 100 years again before we can pick up. And let me make one thing clear to you here tonight. Sometimes some of us will be going and go somewhere else, and we will not be at. But let me tell you something: the people that will make Liberia better is people in the diaspora. When they are given a chance to take over, to make sure, to implore the sense, the ideas, the knowledge they accumulated from abroad. And you see Ghana today, when Gerald Rollin took over what he did, he brought in people from all over in diaspora to work in the government. It's the language he told them. You see, the way he used to work in England, that's how you need to work here. The way you used to work in America, that's how you need to work here. And you see how Ghana looking. That's the best way we can. Liberia, we got everything. We need people with good managerial skill to manage the affair of our country. Thank you.
Well, thanks to you, Mr. Dole, and other, in fact, Mark, but I'll go for a break. He will be here with us. But Mark, you're quite correct, and Mr. Dole. Let me say this to all of you, because we live in a society where the politicians, they feel that they can do anything to our people and go scot-free. Let me be free. Because they feel that during elections, they will go into another district, pay people, take people in the name of trucking people, and carry them into their district or whatever place that they're contesting, and and register these people. So because of that, most of our people, Monk, look, this topic is indeed unique. I'm still asking most of our people who claim to be educated, especially those who want to come from the rescue government, because everything that we are saying here today is all about the forward march of the government. If the government succeed tomorrow, it will be on them. And everything we are saying here tonight, if the government fail, it will also be on them. And they fail to listen to what we are saying here tonight. So, Brother Ali just joining us. Maybe Ali want to chip in quickly. Then we'll move on quickly because we'll have either 4 or 5 minutes to go for the news break. And we'll turn the show over to you people. And then later on, after the news break, then we'll continue about Ali.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, where my brother? What say you?
Yeah, we were discussing the same drugs issue later on. Your transition to the 125 million. Yes, like for me, Liberia, we too old for this thing. we can't be raising $1.2 billion budget and be celebrating for 125 million. And again, we saw what is happening in Kenya now on the sea health aid from America to the Kenyan government, and we see what is happening there. Liberians, do we really care to know what is behind this deal, or all we care about is to celebrate the deal? So this is something, not every small thing people should be celebrating. When you celebrate, they say, oh, you against the government, you now want the government to succeed. No matter what our political differences are, Liberia is all we want, and we want the government to succeed. It is up to the government to fail themselves. And again, when the government fail, our country fail as well. So all this 125 due, this and that, all the big money they're talking about, MCC, compound, what have you, when this money comes, they can't even say be used for the internal purpose. But people who their money is not even benefiting them, they do nothing for them, they want to be dancing, all in the name of political party like my party. What is behind this MOU? This 125 million, what is in the MOU? This is why we want the people to come and explain to the Liberian people. They shouldn't just come and say America give you 125 million for 5 years for help, for us to straighten our health sector so that we can be liability on them. Let it tell everything that is in it. Let Liberian people know the future implication of this 125 million. And nobody care to know about that, but they should celebrate because that they are government. So it's up to them. But all we know, we want the country to succeed and we want the government to succeed. It is up to the government to decide now what to do best. But the too much celebration, everything when you celebrate, you against the government. People care less to know what is happening, what is behind those deals, but all they want is to celebrate it. So that's just it there.
Well, thank you. Let's move back to Mark.
Like we were talking about the drugs business. The present administration now, this issue about drugs, we always used to say it. This is not something to politicize. And today it has fallen on their feet. Like now, go on social media, you will see people posting bucket raw. Oh, now the CDC people, they were into drugs. Now while they left for power, they still want to come back. You people, doing CDC administration, your crowd on push. But today, when you took power, according to your bosses from the LDEA, in less than 4 months, we have about 3 different drugs in the country that are still there today, destroying the youth. In every small thing you want to politicize the issue about drugs, you people have to stop this. Drugs is not something to play with. The greatest America, every day, they rain drugs in the country. No presidential candidate will politicize the issue about drugs. It is not something to get rid of. So people have to stop doing that. Drugs is not something to politicize. And this is why today, I catch up with your government, you don't have no idea what to do about it. It's just spraying.
Well, thank you, Brother Ali. So let's move back quickly to more. We'll turn the entire show over to you. Thank God that you come on. So you will control the team up to the 15 minutes of our news break. But quickly before we go for the news break, Mark, what say you with what has been happening with the drugs issue? You haven't yet chipped in because I feel that maybe you are quite frustrated of all of the law enforcement officers, the system, and everything. But Mark, what say you?
For me, I told you guys about the situation about drugs in Liberia. I told you it will persist for a very long time. I don't see Liberia winning the drugs on war because the pre-existing economic condition makes it impossible. Even the DEA officers that are on the field enforcing the laws on drugs, they are not paid. They are not being rewarded handsomely in order to enhance their performance on the job. Now, tough economic situation will bring people into the drug dealing because drugs is a lucrative business. Let me tell you, the origin or the source of drugs flow maybe throughout the entire world, Latin America. The drugs cartel, they are so lucrative. I mean, they are positioned financially. They got a script that they can even challenge a certain government. Mexico, Guatemala. Why you think the U.S. government is bumping drugs on the sea? Because more than 100,000 Americans, don't forget we are a country of 350 plus million. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, says more than 100,000 Americans die every year from drugs overdose. And where the drugs are coming from overseas. So if America, with a better economic condition, with all the sophistication in terms of military, if they are still struggling with drugs, think about a country like Liberia, where you got porous border, the law enforcement officers are not paid decent wages, and no economic activity that some people that are in the churches, that are into religious community, they're selling drugs uncovered because people must survive. That's just the first law of nature. You must survive. A human being will do anything and everything to survive. There will be people who will be consuming, and when there is a market for drugs in Liberia, there will always be a source. There will always be a supply source. So when we talk about drugs, and matter of fact, the government is not even making the investment, despite the drug is part of their so-called rescue agenda. I don't know how much all the logistical supplies that they are providing for the people. So the issue of drugs, my brother, I don't have that much to say. The only thing I can tell you, it will get worse for Liberia. It will be worse than what you are seeing, and we are not about to win the war on drugs anytime soon. It's not going to happen. So whether it's about Bucket Raw, whether it's about the other lady they had on camera the last time, and people that will be part of the whole drugs cartel, that the numbers will keep increasing. But we have seen a lot of changes with it, even the LDA from the top. Their bosses, they were always controversial. Who's selling drugs? Who bringing drugs to the country? Matter of fact, it's so common now that the supply chain now is coming through your airport, not even from porous border or illegal crossing point. Now people are brave enough to bring it through the airport. That it just tells you that it's a very long thing. It's a very steep mountain to climb on the part of Liberia, and I just cannot see her winning the war on drugs anytime soon. That I can guarantee you. So Bucky Raw, whosoever they are, just one of many victims or one of many perpetrators or the dealers in this game. Well, that's all I can say for now. We stand no chance in winning the war on drugs. Trust me, right now, not possible.
Yeah, Monk, like you said, people are now brave enough to bring drugs through the airport, and that's the fight, because we saw what happened. The guy who arrested a huge quantity of drugs from the lady at the airport, because he arrested that lady and looking at her connection with the government, and they had to change her assignment. So when this kind of thing are happening in the country, why do you think that the government is really serious to fight drugs? You who will come and say something or to do something that they will say, oh yes, thank you, Mom, for what you did. Then the government will say, okay, my man, we have to take you from over there. You think that man deserve to be switched? No, you want to remain there. If you want to fight drugs in the country, people who are arresting people that are bringing drugs in the country, when they carry on an arrest, you say, no, you have to take that man from over there. So you put people there that follow your cartel. And this is why the other men said the three branches of government, they are involved heavily in the bringing of drugs into the country. And you fire that one today. And that's the fight. You see, nobody will be brave enough to bring drugs in the country if you don't have no connection with those big heads. So these people are the main people that they need to go after. That's the only way we are going to try to minimize, because you cannot get a country that is drugs free. At least to minimize it. Look at our population, just 5 million population, to be having drugs overtaking the country gradually and speedily. That's not good. Why are the drugs budget today? Why are the policies that they are put in place? And I will always say this: those people campaign heavily on drugs. Immediately Baka took office, he was taking drug tests all around here. How many LDEA officers can take drugs tests after every 90 days? Or police officers and things? If you really serious about fighting drugs, how will you be fighting drugs when you get LDEA officers? They are volunteer workers to fight drugs. What's the sense in that of volunteer fighting people, somebody that bring in $1 billion of drugs in the country, and he there volunteering to fight drugs? I don't know which one of the country, no country will do that in the world besides Liberia. So these people, they are not serious about fighting drugs. They get a long way to go. But we just pray for our brothers and sisters that they have been destroyed from the issue about drugs in the country, that future have been damaged, and there is no policy put in place to help them out. That's the sad part of it. Because they see people that acting like they are fighting the drugs, that recently were hearing that most of those guys were talking, oh, we don't need to go out again to go bring drugs, because they see LDEA that are arresting the drugs, they the one can sell it to us. When they arrest the drugs, they take some from them, they go, they give it back to the people, they sell it to them, then they take few, they say, oh, we're going to burn it, we're going to destroy it. You see, so that's what happening. There is everything for this government, there is no policy put in place. No policy, anything. When you talk about agriculture, no policy. You talk about healthcare, no policy. You talk about education, no policy. You talk about fighting drugs, no policy. They are just hectares scattered all around the place. But for the 2-year-old experienced president government without no policy, Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah, Brazilian. I'm wondering about the fellow that were arrested. We saw his picture with the sitting president some time ago. And since then, we have not been heard about this man. Do you have any idea?
Mr. Dolly Lame gone when they arrested Lame. I said you saw the man taking picture with the president. You saw the man taking picture with the president's son. So they just allow him to go, but man, you have to go. Because when you hold up, they say when you hold rope will hold bush. So there is nothing you can do but to let him go. They arrested Kuta. When you hold rope will hold bush. They allow her to go. So that it there. So do you think these people registered to fight drugs?
Yeah, Masale, are you saying that those people that were arrested and they were released and they left the country?
Yes. Both of them, Quita and Dominic, they are nobody in Liberia. They are not even in the country. Nowhere around you can find them. Yes. Oh, yes, Mr. Dolly.
All right. Listen, one of the best things that I believe that the country need to do, whether Mr. Barker administration or the income, because the next general election he will be removed, which I'm sure of that. But whether the next government come in, can they really focus on rehabilitations of our drug addicts in our country? Anybody is caught smoking and go for tests and notice that you got some drugs in your system to be placed and rehabilitate you?
Mr. Dolly, I'm a little bit confused because the question you're asking, right?
Yeah.
When you're fighting drugs, it's a comprehensive strategy. The first thing you want to do is to disrupt the supply chain, right? You got to respect your laws and you got to post some.
That is very, very difficult. Brazilian. That is difficult. To destroy the chains is very, very difficult because these people are very, very sophisticated people. The great United States of America, they're not able to destroy the chains of the
No, when I mean destroy the chains, it means that you can mitigate it. You can
mitigate it, but to destroy it, it's not possible.
It's not possible, but like I said, mitigation means you can reduce it significantly that it will have an impact. We know there will be few that will slip through the cracks. But when you open everywhere where people can bring in, then why is the essence of rehabilitation? Because rehabilitation means you want for this person to break away from addiction. But for you to break away from addiction, you got to stop the supply chain. If they don't have access to the drugs, or if few people have access to drugs, then it means you can have a major impact on the whole drug cartel. But if people are walking out of prisons and LDEA bosses are threatening as to who is selling drugs and who's not selling drugs, and there are people who are walking scot-free, why make you think you will get results from rehabilitation? How do you rehabilitate someone that got constant access to the inflow of drugs coming to the country? So like what I'm saying, you can disrupt the supply chain. You may not totally obliterate it, but you can mitigate it in a way that fewer people will have access to why you threaten to rehabilitate other people. But you got constant supply, it's everywhere in the community. How can you rehabilitate? Rehabilitation become at that stage, it become a waste of time because they got constant access to the inflow of drugs.
Can I bring some information to both of your attention? You see the neighboring country here, they call Holland. Is a country of drug free. The people sell drug on a street, on a principal street. They allow people to sell drug, smoke drug, do things. But you hardly see anybody as a drug addict on the street. Can we really investigate how the people manage to do that? Because you see the point, one thing I know about something we call criminal justice system is this. when he make any situation very scary, he becomes some important to the society, and everybody want to have it. So the people from Holland did, you see, look here. There's a certain areas. People, if you want to smoke your cooking, you want to smoke your weed, whatever. There's a certain area you just go there and walk public place and just go and sit down there and smoke and drink and take your utensils and walk up and go. But if you misbehave on the street or we catch you, you will not smell the street. You made that law in Holland. And he been existing for many years. And that country is quiet. You hardly see anybody on the street as a drug addict. So the Liberia situation, many of the drugs that the Liberians or law enforcement are being catching, they being a transit to pass. The high-class drug, people don't have money for it in Liberia. Cocaine, people don't have money for it. So the time that many people used to uses when the war was going on, the war law, the leaders then were buying it and give it to their fighters. How can you see many children today are drug addicts? So we need to really, really investigate the source of this situation in that country. So we can minimize, like what Brazilian just said, the root of the drug something where he passing through to get to our countries. We can investigate to minimize the free flow of traffic of the drug. That can be done if the government is really serious, but you require real sensitive research. The kind of security forces in every security sector they call Interpol need to work deeply to get to the source of something like that. But many of our Liberian drug is a transit drug. They were passing through. They were using Liberia as a transit point. How come? Even at time during drug war administration, the Americans, drug enforcement agency that were assigned to the American embassy, in collaboration with the Liberian drug enforcement agencies, managed to capture over 100,000 worth of drug. He was not meant for Liberia. He was meant to transit to go. So we still need to do a research. What they're doing right now, you know the reason why I'm saying this for Mr. Monk? I just saw a post on the Facebook. That musician they arrested, the quantities of drug they catch him with it displays right in front of him in the Facebook and things there, with his name and here and there. So it's a joke. That is a complete joke. That is complete joke. I saw it. So the DEA, many of the activities that are going on right now, they are not catching a real hackler, criminal that are dealing with the drug system. They're just going around to harass some petty traders and things there that are selling marijuana and stuff. Marijuana is in UK. You can get 2-3 loads of marijuana in your pocket. Policemen see you with it, he's not going to do nothing. They classify it as a medication for pain. But Liberia that is not the case in Liberia. But we still need to do something Brazilian more in that country. I bet you Brazilian, if you go for a research in our country right now to start checking to identify those that actually are addicted to drug really taking drug and the drug in their system proper, if you find out they got some link with a different warring fashion they were fighting for. So that's why I would say right now.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Dollar and Mark. We're back after the news break, Brother Aliu, and all of our followers, our viewers, we're back on the radio. Thanks to all of you. But Mark, Mr. Dollar just concluded. I don't know, maybe you have something to say. Then then we will be able to proceed with a lot of the talking points. But go ahead, my dear brother.
Well, for me, I hate comparing Liberia to any Western or industrialized country. I don't know what the people in the Netherlands put in place when it comes to the jobs. I'm just looking at a situation from the angle of Liberia, a poor country where you lack of opportunities in terms of job, in terms of the future of the country. Young people, they don't have that foundation, that structural foundation. The only thing that I know, if you really want to do war on drugs, you got to serve precedent, you got to serve deterrent. Let me tell you something, Mabel. We are corrupt by nature, human beings. The reason people stay away from committing crimes because they know there are consequences. And if the consequences are heavier, they will avoid committing the crime. When you see people walking out of prison and people in high position of authority making phone calls to free their allies that were caught with drugs, why make you think the supply is going to stop? If you are going after the meat distributor or the supply chain and putting them in prison for a good amount of years, when you make the consequences harsh, it would discourage people from bringing drugs into the country. But in the case of Liberia, that won't happen. Like I said, it's a lucrative business. You got a huge market for it because that economic anxiety, that's why I keep saying every problem in Liberia comes back to the economy. Because when somebody wake up from bed and no hope and no opportunity and no job, he want to take a substance to keep him going. He think he can push away his worries. And why he will resort to taking drugs. That's how you become zombie to drugs. You want something temporarily in the short term to take away your stress and your depression. So if the economic problems cannot be solved, then more than likely you stand no chance in fighting drugs. Because people, like I said, once you have a huge market or bigger market in terms of consumption, then you need suppliers to service that market. That's why you got more drugs coming to the country. And when the people who are the major supplier, the top of the supply chain, if they can use their influence to walk away from state prison with the with people who are in the position of authority, then why make you think I'm going to waste my time to go and rather call a buggy road? No, it's a waste of time. It makes no goddamn sense. Why should I focus on the consumer? You get a supply chain, or they are working away scot-free with impunity. Matter of fact, they have no regard. There are no laws on the book that are going to punish them, that would discourage them from even bringing drugs to the country. Why should I focus on the consumer? So that's it.
And more, thank you. That's the point there. Why should I even waste my time on the consumers? But I don't know. Maybe the law there. Maybe you, Mr. Dollar, but maybe Brother Ali will tell us exactly as to. But maybe there is a law that are punish, maybe that will punish consumers, and to tell us that yes, maybe even though we are against the importation of drugs, but also maybe we don't want you to also take in drugs, because when you take in drugs, this is what's going to happen. It's not going to happen. But again, Monk, if you don't know everything, why you want to go after the people who are consuming? And sometimes there are a lot of allegations and accusations that even the government officials, because they are not being checked, sometimes they bring in so many substances or so many drugs into the society, and our people or our generation will consume these drugs. At the end of the day, they will be seen as people who abuse drugs. But Ali, what say you? Because I think this topic now will carry us up to our time.
The issue about fighting drugs, maybe the government had to put in more money in the drugs budget. They had to put in more policy, and they had to get more people professionally trained, and they had to increase people's salaries within the LDEA. They need to do this thing. Like I said, you can't get people fighting drugs. You can't get volunteers fighting drugs. And in fighting drugs, you can not everything you had to be doing selectively. Okay, you want to fight drugs, if you catch anybody, like like the statement from the vice president, when they got arrested for the death, he say, be it my mom, my son, my whosoever. And when you say it, make sure you go by it. Like the question Mr. Dolly was asking about Quita and Dominic. So if you can get a government doing those kind of things, why would really make you to think that this government is serious about fighting drugs when they are only going after people who are not within their cycle, but when you are within their cycle, they don't care. You see? So like we have something we say safety had no chain of command, which means from president down, nobody is above the safety law. So if you can be the president, so whosoever arrested with drugs, you should be prosecuted. With that, they will say, oh yeah, these people, they are ready. But other than that, when you are doing it selectively and the main people who are bringing the drugs, you are not going after them, you want to be after the consumer, then it makes no sense. You people are there acting like you're fighting drugs. You need to go after the people that are bringing the drugs. Like my grandfather, may his soul rest in peace, he used to smoke the thing, Mr. Dollar, no, they call PEP, they owe people name. When doctor told him to stop smoking, he said, oh, you forget about that. We, the grandchildren, are buying it for him. When we stop giving it to him, he stopped smoking. You see? So that's it. The people that are bringing the drugs, you have to go after the cartel and forget about the consumer. Because when the consumer are not getting it from the cartel, how are they going to smoke? So the government get more to do. The government cannot do everything, they alone. But at least let it put some measures in place. Let it start that the next government, when they can, it will start from there. Yes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brother Ali. That move to Mr. Dollar. Mr. Dollar, with the issue of security, that must state there, and Brother Ali, that sometimes or in fact, we watch our security taking risks, and some of the salaries they are making $90. Let me freak, and let me real here tonight. Okay. Even if you go back to the scene on today, what we watch, the scene was not that favorable, or it was not that good, because there were a lot of people would say maybe there were a lot of commotions, there were a lot of insults and so forth. But Mr. Dollar, the scene today was not too unique, and these security officers coming from the LDA, they were insulted. There were a lot of invectives that were used on them. But at the end of the day, they still remain unique, or they still, or maybe exercise what we call restraint, just to have the day going. But at the end of the day, they made little or nothing. Even the budget that been passed, nothing there for them. Yeah. What say you, Mr. Dollar? Then we'll go to Brother Aliu. Yeah. Then maybe more Brother Ali, then go to the line.
Yeah, let me make some clarity in this thing here. You see, in terms of enforcing the law of any nation, certain things need to be taken into consideration by the central government. To have those that are responsible for the protection of a nation, they need certain things we call incentive. Sometimes salaries is good. It's good to give them something to sustain them in terms of salary. But one thing that you can make them to be very careful to take a bribe or to do something dodgy is when you give them incentive. When you give them incentive, the incentive like they got free horse, they got settings procedures when they go to do shopping from the supermarket, they got certain discount, and they got settings right. When they have 2 or 3 children, they can go to certain clinic for free or charge, and they also got certain things that can be given to them like rations, food, and things. When you select a certain security sectors in our country, like a national army, the custom, the immigration, police, DEA, SS, those that are protecting the president and things, then you give them this incentive. They will look at the immunity they getting on that job to behave themselves normally and properly to avoid being caught doing dodgy things, to be dismissed from that job and lose that immunity. That can help out if the central government can look at that. But you see what happened today. One of the problems we have in our African government securities work is many of our law have a 2 bar. They can see, the law can see. But when you go to justice or like temple of justice, you will see a lady standing there with black clothes over the fields and the eye clothes. But nevertheless, the judge that's sitting down behind that table, he can see who to reverend men who to punish severely in terms of there's a many ways that they can exhibit, they can practice corruptions in a society because of one, they do it, they're not getting no punishment for it. So the government need to really look at all these sensitive issues. That's the only way country can be at peace. You see, the last time we talk about more justice. All these things then bring more justice. When people find out that the justice system is not protecting any people collectively, so they begin to take the law into their own hand. What happened to the DEA today? The DEA were patient. They allowed the people insult them and all this kind of thing there. Yes, that is obvious. As a law enforcer, you should be expecting that. They will insult you, but you should do your job. But when you do your job, do it professionally. So you cannot be criticized.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Dollar.
When they were performing, the blunder somewhere. But nevertheless, look at the evidence they displays on the Facebook. You see it. If you want me to send it to you, I can send it to you. That is something that anybody can display to say, this is the one we cut from this person here. So it's very, very, very alarming.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dollar. So let's move to in fact, Mark, what say you with the issue of salaries? Let's be frank and let's be real to ourselves. Liberians, they are still uni. Sometimes they shot all the security officers for no reason. The police officers, the only people that they little bit have respect for, they are the armed forces of Liberia or is the armed forces of Liberia. But apart from that, my brother, they shot all the other security maybe apparatus or officers for no reason. Sometimes they don't even know what the people go through. Today is just one classic example of the kind of insult, the kind of the grinning comments, or someone will say assault and so forth that some of the people go through. But yesterday, they made little or nothing. Mom, what say you? And the budget just passed the $1.2 billion with nothing been mentioned in the budget for the people.
Well, that's why I keep telling you, even the government actions will tell you that they're not serious. They have no interest in fighting drugs. Because the reason you wake up from bed to come to work every morning is to be compensated. Your bills are not volunteers. You must pay your bill. You must take care of your family. Nobody wakes up from bed every morning with the idea that I want to be a volunteer, most especially for a job that your life is on the line, that you are taking risks. Because drug dealing is a very risky job. Because in some instances, the cartel, they are well equipped. They got armed. They must transport their merchandise. And if law enforcement encounter them, they can get killed. Look, the thing about drugs is no small business all over the world. It's a big deal. That, like I said, when you go to Latin America, the kidnapping, the killing, these are people that can even take on the government in terms of a physical battle. Look, when you get a time, read about the guy they call Pablo Escobar. This was the guy that ran the Medellin cartel in Colombia, that the Colombian government couldn't contain because he was wealthy. He had military guard units, that the Colombian government had to appeal to the U.S. to take down Pablo Escobar. It tells you how powerful. Can you imagine a drug cartel taking on an entire country's military? Imagine people selling drugs, thinking that we can challenge the AFL in a physical confrontation in war, and AFL cannot defeat it. That's how powerful the drug cartel can be. So when you go to tell me to be an LDA officer working at the border, but you only got one pickup truck that's responsible for Bopolu or Grand Cayman and bombing, they are not yet not serious. When you still have volunteers working in the LDA, then it means the government is not serious. Remember, if you're a petty drug trailer in Liberia, maybe you live in Sierra Leone and you use some porous areas along the border to bring drugs to Liberia. When you hear that drug suppliers are spending 20 years in prison and the government is recruiting new LDA officers, maybe 500 or 1,000 of them, and they have increased their pay, where you think it was sent? What kind of message is sent to you? It means that the government is serious. It will make you to double think your effort before even bringing drugs to Liberia, because you know that's why I say the only reason we abstain from engaging in the criminal activity because of the consequences we will pay when we are caught in the act. That's why human beings choose to do the right thing when there are consequences. But when you don't have consequences, you wake up one morning, they say, oh, someone was caught with drugs. But the president made a phone call to one of his body, or maybe his body, to release him. You wake up one morning, the LDA bosses, they are fighting against each other. And the other day you hear a drug coming from the airport. Tell me, it will encourage you to bring more drugs to the country. So like I said, the government is not serious. The whole thing about harassing the consumer, it's just a waste of time. They have no strategy and no idea as to how they are going to defeat drugs. So that's my position.
Wonderful. Thank you, my dear. But Ali, what say you quickly before we go to the line?
Maybe I think we can listen to the people like when on the drugs issue, like yeah, from the people today, how they feel in the country and what's going on. Yes.
Well, thank you. So, folks, those of you who if are following us, or better still, who've been following this broadcast, or better say this show, you can place in your calls on 0770203125. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV to have a say on the issue. If all of the things I've been talking about here this evening. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Keep a call coming 0770203125 to this first caller. Good evening.
And if you need it wrong with you always read Abraham.
Okay.
Because yesterday somebody was caught with God only because the person was friends to the president's son. That person was left to go free. And then today he's running beyond position. What normally in the studio we say is right or issue in the country, even all over the world. The parents do their thing there and they play their music and they record their sound. So you can't be running behind people and giving a real deal only because you see that this person will be attached to the other person and you want to get at the person to make the person to look some kind of way. The government has to request judge, brother. The government has to request judge. You will not be catching judge in Canada, they can. You will not be catching judge in Tantan Bagare, and then they can't do nothing. You don't know where the people is practically telling judge open there. And they get the VIP there because I started talking about it in business time, so they were able to open it up. So
all right, my dear brother, let's day. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, brother, okay, thank God for life. Go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, this government will now fight drugs. Nothing we can do about it. Because even we as community dwellers and community leaders, we have tried our best for no effort from government. Because even if we get these guys, the dealers, those guys who bring in the drugs, we will carry their names. They will come and arrest these guys after a few days. We see them back in the community, then they become threat to us. So how?
Sometimes the whistleblower, right? You people, the whistleblower, there's no security. Don't fit for you people.
So at the end, you see that people became afraid because the last time, they came here because they have a full gun here. When the guys are moving with guns, even the motorbike roads, they moving with guns. If you want to track them down, they blow a alarm. They even shot one of them all in his flag. They have to fled away. So we're talking about people now with drugs.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. All right, my dear brother. Thank you. David King, good evening, my brother.
Good evening, neighbor. Let me say good evening to your many listeners and that of your panelists. You see, maybe Boggy Raw entire arrest today is marked by some conspiracy. You gotta know. Ever since Boggy Raw been smoking opium, people know that. They know that most of the musicians who has in Liberia smoke opium. Even the Tatan Baga smoke opium. A whole lot. Even though you're not doing music currently, you enjoy your Liberian money. But when you go to Azam, where you stay, you sit up there on the balcony of the house and smoke a whole lot. So why are they not going to arrest him? But here's the issue. The Ghanaian musician, Ghanaian musician are coming to town. Yes, tomorrow he's also be having a show. They call him Black Sherry.
Black Sherry, yeah.
Yeah, so Sherry will be having a show. Because what happened to Kid Daniel, when Takuji had a show, and when Kid Daniel came there, Kid Daniel was not able to have people attending a show. But everybody wanted Taku's show. So because Bob get raw, having his own show today, so the guy just used that Madonna thing to go and sabotage the band so that Black Sherry show can be well attended. Because people would not be sorry from fatigue to go to a Sherry show tomorrow. Because Boggy is already locked up behind bar for the issue of Madonna. So they brought a conspiracy against the brother. And this is the kind of Liberian we got now. They don't want Liberian to grow. The industry, they are trying their best to come out everywhere in the world. Even the Nigerians or the Ghanaians who they are bringing here, don't guarantee Madonna. But the people will not support that with their alley show because one Liberian going there to host a show. But in our own case, those things happen. So we are so disappointed in our security apparatus. They know where to find real drugs. That's marijuana. Marijuana is used for what? Asthmatic patient.
All right, but even though my dear brother is also against our Lord, today's call good evening. Yeah. Thank you, my dear brother. So you are saying that the drugs issue is the pick and choose. Today's caller, good evening. Okay. Keep your calls coming to 0770-203-125. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show and to have a say on the topic that we've been discussing here this evening. Maybe you have something to say to our government or president. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, good evening to the panelists.
Go ahead, Mama.
Those people went to Bucket Roads on the ESA and BC. Why is it that every time, even on social media, people are talking about President Baka children? Why do they go again now?
Yes, indeed. Elected.
Because as someone told them, say, Bucket Roads get it here. And I see people that are posting on Facebook, and I see people talking it. Why would they not go there to go search and say, oh, then we'll go see why the people say what are true? So that we can choose the time between the country. Secondly, the people say things fun, but it's not fun. It's not fun in the country. Everything stay high, neighbor. Everything stay high. Where am I? The rate is 2,750. $2,750. What they different at there for they come and say, oh, everything all right. The Vita Pass. The Vita Pass we still buy 400. Then I first 100 for the Vita Pass.
Oh, really?
Yes. That Vita Pass first 100 now we still buy that 400. First we still buy 3 something left for we have 400 just up to 400.
So that means you are saying that maybe when they reduce the other side, then they transfer the money to the other side. Thank you, my dear. All right, thank you so much. So this caller, good evening. Those of you got to check and know the prices of some of the commodities. So this caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
I'm Ken B. Robert, and I do phone in from Bond County, issue number 3 to DP side. Everybody say thank you for your platform. When it comes to the drug issue, it's something that the government has to take seriously. Today, in my community, 2 persons die of drugs.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. But the early this morning, the other one who got it behind that, started where, trying to rush the other one to the hospital, he died.
And that is Spark and die, though. I think that is Spark and die, right?
Maybe I got an emergency. I will catch you on Monday, hopefully. Yeah.
Finally, he said that you have to be with where the drugs come from. People talking about the consumer. Because when the consumer, I see that we don't have much problem with consumer, but the dealers. But the problem how to find how to be our best. We can control this drug issue.
But what happened to with the whistleblower? This country is another. Well, I don't want to use any kind of adjective, but to admit, my brother will not see it because whistleblower should be given some. I don't know. They should be given some attention, giving money, giving compensation, and so forth.
Because the fact here, if the FBI arrest the judge, you don't take him to the police station, maybe after a while, you see him out. I don't know.
Well, thank you, my dear brother. Lofa County coach also allegedly been accused of drugs trafficking and so forth. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Martin Singetobaris. Even I join you from the Puebland Road. So, neighbor, let me say thank you for affording us the opportunity to be here on your station or on your show, and good evening to your diaspora panelists. As it stands, I think my take on this issue that people are discussing, or what is on my mind, is about the aspect that have to do with the drugs issue. The drugs should be everyone's business. We should stop politicizing drugs activities in this country. If we continue with this, we will go nowhere. The judge doesn't pick between CDC, United Party, ANC, or any other party. Drugs affects every other human, including all Liberians. So when there's an issue of drugs, I think we should always take it a bit serious. Like today, we don't know what is unfolding. With the Bureau winnings today, I saw a group of LDA personnel at the home of Bucket Road. And later, he was placed at the back of the pickup. After a few hours, so to speak, we learned that he was being free. On what basis for us, we don't know. But then we have to leave it with the authority of the LDE to tell us why Mr. Bucket or quote unquote Bucket have been released.
Yeah, the name is Mr. Cole. They call him Mr. Cole.
There should be no color in drugs activities. If anyone form with drugs, we should discourage it. For me, I don't say I'm not accusing Mr. Ross or Bucket Ross of being a drug addict. But once you form drug with the person, there should be some.
It should be punished, right? So that move back now. So that move back to the security, the government, and that the security. Because there are a lot of risks most of our brothers and sisters they always involve themselves into. So what say you with the issue of salary increasement with other different? What say you? That's where I want some of you to speak of.
For me, let me say congratulations to the Liberian people that indeed for the first time our budget have see $1 billion. My plea to our very lawmaker is that they put forward for the teachers, the nurses, the security sector. these centers are very much cardinal to the group or any nation. If we hold these centers to our chest, it means to say that our country will grow. So my appeal is that the teachers should be given some level of attention. The nurses should be given level of attention, including the security sector as well. These are people who are working tirelessly to see how best our country can be fully prepared and fully presented to the international world on a good note.
All right, thank you. Even though the budget has been passed, on their budget, the 1.5 billion has been passed. Today's call, good evening. Mama, you get you get enough credit. You worry. Go ahead. Hey, come up with your get money. You get money in your phone. Your whole phone is full with all credit. Okay, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
You know what? This is a time in our history. Like I was just saying, one of my brothers, what I brought me is one mental emancipation. We are literally enslaved.
Oh.
Oh yes, we are literally enslaved in Liberia. Our person, most of the problem, we really need mental deliverance. Oh, you know, Mo was saying something. He was speaking about the budget being passed illegally. Mom, this is where the first time from. Mom, the people that started talking about budget were not people. It was clearly a violation. It was a violation against the Constitution. The slavery violated the Constitution. Where on earth did this people that resign he go contest with these people? It was not people. It was fair. It was not people. It was regimes because he sat on the toilet for the budget. So these people are illegal. If they are
so that go to the drugs issue, my brother. Forget that one. No, man, I took one topic. I don't pay to one topic to today. Go ahead with the drugs.
Why is sugar working raw? I shared some similarity with him, but there should be no sacred cow in the fight against drugs. If working raw is guilty of drug selling or whatever drug dealing, let him be there. We're under the law. But again, the same standard I was set for working raw, I'm calling on the government and its president to be fair enough. They should not do cherry picking. There was a guy who was arrested in Nova County by the name of Dominic Molu. Today, we don't know where is Dominic Molu. This is legal and anything you are using to this to handcuff or body raw. We need actually legal and anything to bring Dominic Molu back and say trial because the drug here is not believable in a bill. We want a girl out that lady, I'm not lady up girl out for the airport and disappear. We are not seeing her. All these people should be brought to trial. They should not be selected. The law should not work against one group when they are wrong, then against the other group when they are wrong. Also, it cannot work.
Thank you. The common people, even though we fail in law when it comes to the issue of the MCC, right? So that when anything can happen, man, you probably don't know. Because come people, let's take a few more calls. We'll cross over to our team of panelists right here on the SKTV show on Truth FM 96.1. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is
Okay, my dear brother, go ahead. Okay, go ahead from Dupero. Dupero, which part of Dupero? Because Bokera was rooted out from the Cowfield Last Junction.
Speaking from Dupero County.
Oh, Mama, yeah. Hey, Mama, I used to live in Mother. But I know myself, I'm even confused.
The issue of drugs,
yeah.
You know, what they make it sense about the government, they drugs all around the community. The key thing that are supposed to be discussed on platform, they are linking it and then discussing past events. Now they call themselves rescue mission. The people dying. Every day people dying. But they're not talking about it. Then they call themselves rescue mission. That is not fair. Liberia actually is dying daily. They need to see reason. And then
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. To this caller, good evening.
So, Mabel, thank you. This is the voice of Prince.
Prince, yes, indeed, Prince, my dear brother. Go ahead, Prince.
I currently call from the famous Kolake Avenue district.
Yeah, the Prince, let me get Kolake Avenue too.
Yeah, we have Kolake Avenue.
That's good.
Kolake Avenue, District 5.
My brother, that's good. We know we got to talk the way we talk because of our people. But go ahead.
72nd, the rural corridor is called Kolake Avenue.
Oh, okay.
So, I think today it was somewhat of a mood when I came across that video. And let me give a thumbs out to the DA boss who happy to be anybody. You know, if today the DA had taken side, I hear my brother from the other side, they say, oh yeah, that politics, this and that. We were the same person that were discussing here when there was an arrest done where the DA boss was mediating his fellow man to allow his daughter leave the place only because he tried to shield his daughter. Body rights man, Nimakane brother is a dam and I'm a dam, but equally so. Let me borrow the word for the former president when he said beat it, draw, beat it. Time for the draw to something, they will pour down. The issue about jobs, regardless of where it coming from, even if that my uncle, that my son, and my dear daughter, little desire, let her be brought to justice and let the Lord take it course. No, we shouldn't see anything. If those people that went there today, if there was an intent to allow Bucky Rodriguez, he said walk by himself and go to the station, they will say, oh, they'll be calling for the dismissal of the DA board because you will say he have compromised. So today,
Prince, let me frank now. Bucky Raw also, some people are saying that Bucky Raw was not arrested. He walked into the vehicle and he get into the car or into the vehicle. But other people that will be arrested, they'll be handcuffed. In fact, they'll even be manhandled. But according to what you are saying, the professionalism of the DA or maybe officers that were there, they also exercised a lot of restraint and they were able to allow him to do what he want to do. But what say you? Also, both the salaries of the LD officers and that of what happened.
So, I think you can make that there are normal routine, normal posture when it comes to DA. When they arrest you, for example, they arrest me with marijuana, you will put something on my neck. I will have that and display it in the public to show that our Prince Kolake was arrested today.
Exactly.
Not doing the case of Bucky Raw, it was done. So there's no partiality there. Tomorrow, the after tomorrow, when it happened to our brother on the other side, they shouldn't say, oh, which one?
Let's move to the issue, Prince Kolake. So let's go to the issue of the salaries of the LDA. Let's forget about politics, my brother.
So now, with the salary of the DA, I think it's a laudable call. This is why some of us are saying. So, meanwhile, it was surprising to know that 80% of those people that carry on no arrest, that in the trenches to see to it like brother, just free country, they are not on salary. Most of those people, they are not on salary. So how you think the fighting of jobs on a holistic scale, how you think with the government achieve? So
wonderful. Thank you. How you think? That's the question, and you don't know Prince Kolake. So let's move back to our panelists. Like 7 more minutes, or then 6 more minutes to go, Mr. Dole. But I'll leave you to listen to all of the callers. And the last caller, John Mary, how you think that with the issue of salaries, our LG officers, some of them are doing voluntary work, while other people are making something around $90. But we just signed a budget for low cost $1.2 billion, and people are still making $90. Is that something that someone will say, maybe this is insulting? This is terrible. This is something. But let's move back to you people, Mr. Dollar. What say you?
Yeah, listen. To be realistic, that habit of the government is jovial. There's no way. Not only the DEA or whatever was, all law enforcement, all civil servants need to have a salary to sustain them. So long you honor paying them the way you want them to serve the country, they will never serve the country that way. They are human beings. They got responsibility. Where they focusing on putting the money there, that's not the place where the money is supposed to go. Which is the law. I mean, the people at the Capitol building there, dishing up the budget money into their pockets is wrong. The salary need to be minimized to 5,000. I think that is sufficient for each lawmaker. If you do not satisfied with it, leave it. You're not forced to work for government. But the people that are really running the day-to-day activity of a nation is the civil servant, including the law enforcers who are there to protect life and property. They need to have sufficient salary to sustain themselves. If they are not getting anything tangible, forget it. They will never perform effectively, no matter what kind of training they have. The DEA situation is so sympathetic. Nearly 60% of the employees of DEA are volunteers. What kind of loyalty or what kind of professionalism they will employ when they are there as a volunteer, they're not getting nothing to associate themselves. They don't have sufficient money to feed themselves. They don't have nothing. They only give them packaging. So how do you expect them to perform? It's wrong that the government open their mind to do the best they can for the law enforcement. That's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Even though the budget has been passed and nothing there, maybe when it comes to salary increasement, actually, but tomorrow I want all of you, Mr. Dollar, please start to do your research because hopefully on tomorrow we're going to go into the most talking about $1.2 billion budget, maybe up to next week, and see how best that we can explain this thing to our people so that they will know exactly what's going on. But thank you, Mr. Dollar. But Ali, we got to go. What say you with all of the callers? And
so have a lovely night. I'm leaving you guys, mate.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Good night. See you on tomorrow, by God grace. Thank you.
Right. Bye.
All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Sorry though. All right. Yeah. So, Brother Ali, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe like you're talking about the salaries of LDEA. Just how Mr. Dolly said, just how Mr. Dolly said, it's not just LDEA. All the security apparatus in Liberia, including 7 need salary increment. What the essence of raising the country national budget to 1.2 billion where lawmaker benefits, allowances, or government officials, everybody getting increment, but the least people over there, out there, they cannot get increment on their salary. And this is why I always say, those people, they are a bunch of good for nothing and useless people we have calling them lawmakers. They are not there in the interest of the Liberian people. They go there in their own interest. You went to represent these people to make sure you change their life, their living condition. Maybe, man, what can $90 do for somebody in Liberia? What can $80 do? Even $200 salary, what can they do for somebody in Liberia? But you pay somebody a horse girl, a horse ball, a office staff, you give him money for gas, you give him money for scratch card. Thing that a salary is supposed to do, then you pay him $10,000 at the end of the month. So what the essence of paying him $10,000 when you taking all of these responsibility? And then you get 7, you pay them $150, like $150. They need to pay transportation to kind of work from Monday to Friday. They need to pay children's school fee. They need to have loans.
Yeah. But Ali, don't go into the topic on tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay.
Quickly, we gotta go. No time.
We'll wait to the topic tomorrow. Take care.
Yes, good. Thank you so much, Brother Ali. And thank to all of you, our viewers, our followers, and those of you that are also calling. Let me say thanks to all of you people. Don't get it twisted. Tomorrow we'll talk about a budget up to next week. What there for you as people, because your lawmakers, or better say your government, they already passed the budget. That is the lower house. The lower house passed the budget, and the budget was sent to the upper house for concur, and that will be maybe be sent, or they will send it to the president for approval. Then at the end of the day, it will be passed into law. But what there for you people? That's the question. Good night to all of you people. We see you on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. I'm John Simeon Kula.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Worried about people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the promise from them. The work of my life without the end.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play body so make on you. I can't Sktv benyo. Say my journey, tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Pakistan ya tumale, Sktv, ena Pakistan, tosi wala ma ya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Worried about people who waiting to sell. The flesh, that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.